Okay, so got some animation here. And the first thing I'm noticing is that in this pose, I've got some of the mouth bag peeking through the side of his face. So let's fix that real quick. So I'll select him. Actually, let me just bring the full interface over. Select him. Bring up my Shapes plugin. Select him. And then I'll just enter sculpt mode. Come into here, and probably even just that little bit of smoothing is gonna prevent that from poking through. That's all I need to do. So I'll exit, and now you'll see that it's back on there. That's where this animation panel comes into play. So I can just click, with this new corrective selected, I'll click this key with a 1 on it. That puts a keyframe down and enables this to a value of 1. Then I'll move back a few frames. Probably is not an issue there. Let's see. So then I'll create a keyframe of 0 there and come to the other side. Still poking through. There, it's fine. So there I'll key it back to 0. Nope, didn't work. There we go. So now, oh, something else is going on, but I can fix that too. Let's see. Does this fix it? Yeah. So with that, now I've got it keyframed on and off. And just like that, instead of having to go back to my rigger, hey, the mouth bag pokes through and it's in this pose, I've just got it fixed. And I can move on and I can send this to the farm to render. You know, simple as that. And again, it's even got, because a lot of times when you're doing this, you'll want to have something key on and then off a few frames on either side. It's got this where it'll, and if you click this button, it'll place a keyframe at the current frame with a value of 1, and then keyframes with a value of 0, this number of frames on either side. So if I go in here and let's say I'll just delete all of those, come back to this frame and click this, then I've got it keyed to 1 and then down to 0, 5 frames on either side. If I need to get rid of a key, I can click that there. Get rid of all my keys, I can click that. If I want to change this value to 10, I can do that. When I click that, then I've got keyframes 0 to 1, back to 0, 10 frames on either side. So that's great for fixing. But let's say I want to do something more of a creative blend shape that instead of just a fix, using that same idea. So I've got this elephant who is swinging his head pretty quickly, at least for an elephant, from one side to another. Let's say I want to add like a smear frame to that. I could come into here and again enter sculpt mode. I'm going to get my brush a little bit bigger, start dragging this out, just start to kind of create sort of fake motion blur. Let's pull the ear out. For the trunk, I might need a smaller brush. Smooth that out a little bit. For something like this, you'll probably want to do all of this sculpting in a view that has your shot camera in it. You want to actually make sure that this looks good from your camera, not just, because it really doesn't matter what this sort of thing looks like in any other view. There we go. So let's say we like that. So now on that frame, key that to 1. You'll probably not want to have this be over as many frames as you might be for one of those animation fixes. But now I've got this sort of thing where he squashes into the motion. You can create as many of those as you need, but again, you've just, in a matter of a minute, created this very cartoony effect, and it doesn't matter what the rig does. The one little gotcha of this, you will see that the tusk is not following along with that, but you can do the same thing with that. Select the tusk, create those same kinds of keyframes for those blend shapes. And the eyeballs also. So you'd have to do that for every part, but in a matter of 5 minutes, you could have a great deformation like this without having to change the rig. If you have any questions, raise your hands. I'll be happy to go over any of this again. If you want to just come up and talk to me after this, I'll be happy also to answer any questions there. But thank you guys for coming, and thanks for listening, and I hope that this is useful and helpful.